Dr. Ted here, and welcome to the channel. And on this channel we deal with mental health issues and personal development. And today's topic is addiction. Now maybe some of you have heard of the actor Matthew Perry. He played that character Chandler Bing on the hit TV show Friends, and that was happening I think in the 90s and early 2000s, and he's played a number of other roles throughout the years. But he passed away a few weeks ago, and he has, if you're familiar, a long history with various addictions. And wow, he had quite the life, and it just kind of allowed me to think, I want to share my experiences as being an addiction counselor with people who have various addictions. Now, I'm not saying everybody who comes into addiction counseling is like a Matthew Perry, hooked on painkillers or other like alcohol or very serious things. But addiction can be various things, including online shopping, food addiction, gambling, various addictions. And I just wanted to share my experiences in working with people and what I see. And what I see can maybe allow you to see what people go through, their struggles, and perhaps allow you to kind of overcome addictions if you're suffering from them yourself, or maybe better understand people who have such addictions. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give some tips on how the recovery process can start with helping people with a variety of addictions. Now, when people come in for counseling, they're starting off with great intentions. Dr. Ted, I understand I have a problem with alcohol or painkillers. I really want to work through it. I want to get through it. I want to deal with it. My spouse is telling me I'm just kind of out of control. I feel I'm out of control. But deep down, I really know I can conquer this and to move on and kind of overcome it. Great. Now, after that great introduction and start, people start to see the realities. And what I mean by that is, it is hard to deal with addiction. For example, the person will say, as we're kind of talking, my social life is highly connected with my addiction. What do you mean by that? Well, on the weekends I'm out with the boys or with different people, and I'm drinking a lot. And because I'm drinking a lot, I'm really connecting well with them. I really have a lot of friends. By me drinking, I'm the life of the party, right? I'm the life of the party. And you know, when I'm not drinking, I'm kind of a quiet person, introverted. I don't really have a lot of friends. But when I start drinking, I really feel great, you know, and you know what? When I think about it, my whole social circle is surrounded by drinking. And wow, if I'm here wanting to give up my drinking, you know what? I might have to give up my friends. I might have to give up this life where I'm no longer the life of the party. And you can see as the person's kind of sharing that with me, they're really starting to think about the sacrifices that are going to have to be made in order to become, you could say, more normal, or just less, you could say, influenced by the substance, wherever that substance is that they're consuming. I start to notice after people start really realizing the impact of addiction on their life, they can start failing to do the exercises that are part of the counseling. And what I mean by exercises, really getting some in-depth understanding of the addiction. So for example, I will give them basically an addiction record keeping kind of activity. Now in that activity, the person kind of records when they're using a substance. Now that, again, that can be on the weekend or whenever, or in the evenings. How much are they taking? You know, how much are they taking? How much are they drinking? And what mood is associated with that? So maybe they're feeling depressed, so they're drinking. And that, the idea behind that is to kind of have, again, a fuller awareness of the impact of addiction and the different mood states that you're in, even the different locations. Now, the person has to bring that in every week for the counseling, and then you start to see they're not doing it anymore. So we're starting to see that, oh, I understand I got this addiction. Oh, my social life, for example, will be impacted. And now these exercises that can kind of have more full awareness to allow you really to see different areas that need to be looked at in addiction start not to be done. So now the person is kind of, you could see, going from that high start, kind of declining. So once people start seeing the realities that their social life, for example, can be limited, or not doing the exercises, you can start to see that the addictive self is clearly in control. And what I mean by that, there's a conflict within the person. So the addiction is fighting with them. There is this good self, you could say, that person with the good intentions, and the addictive self. So you got two selves inside the person, they're kind of in conflict. And that addictive self is not something to take lightly. That's a very powerful thing, you could say, and that's what keeps the person down. So that addictive self is creating things like the anxiety of not being able to meet people, maybe making the person depressed, maybe kind of saying, oh, you're bored, you need to do something, you need to kind of reach out to something to give you a little boost up. And they're in a conflict. And what people don't understand is this addictive self is very powerful, because it hasn't just started last week, last month. For many people with strong addiction issues, it's been with them for decades, years. So this self, you could say, is very much in control and knows which buttons to press inside the person. So that is something the person starts to really fight with, and they become weak because of this struggle inside. And then they say, well, what's the point? I just need to continue on with my addictions to kind of give me that boost. With the addictive self in full control, they just give up. You don't see them anymore at sessions or making up excuses. I just can't come in this week. They have given up. They're basically at the mercy of their addiction and making up all kinds of excuses to basically not continue on with treatment. They are, you could say, lost, feeling, what's the point? I've shared with you a few things that I have seen working with people with various addictions. Let me share with you a few things that can really help people get over their addiction. Now, for example, what are the habits around your addiction? Now, habits are very important to know because they reinforce the addiction. Is the habit, every Friday night we are going down to the bar? Being aware of that is first really important, because then you start to see how you can be on autopilot, how the addiction has kind of tricked you into, it's Friday night. This is what we have to do on Friday night. You have to feed your addiction. Very important to know, because that's when you can start bringing in strategies on how to, maybe Friday night we're going to do something else besides go to the bar. Number two, now what can be done every day to help you become more aware of this addiction versus letting it run your life? You need to write out things. And what I mean by writing out things is, I don't need to take a drink. I don't need to go out to the bar. If I do go out to the bar, what's going to happen next? How am I going to feel next day? How am I going to let down those people around me? What kind of shape am I going to be in for work next day if I engage in this addiction? So again, this is building awareness in addition to habits to the impact that addiction is having on you. So number three, what can you start every day to start reducing your addiction? For example, you like shopping online? Many people do. Okay, maybe you're using your phone. At the same time, start a timer on your phone with an alarm. 10 minutes, for example. So once that alarm goes off, you got to cut off the website with the online shopping. And of course, as time progresses, 9 minutes, 8 minutes. Same thing with drinking, setting a schedule. Okay, 1 drink an hour. We cut off at 3 drinks at 11 o'clock, for example. So the idea here is just to reduce gradually. That's very important. We can't really assume that we're going to stop everything today and we're just going to go cold turkey and that's just the way it is. Reduce gradually to get your body adjusted to this new you could say. Get you used to less. I share with you a few tips on dealing with addiction. If you want more tips, more strategies, let me know in the comments. If you know of somebody who could benefit from this video, please share it with them. And as always, wishing you the best mental health wherever you are in this big world. And until the next video, take care. If you're looking for more videos on bettering your mental health, check out this video.